Okay, Seymour Duncan Twin Tube Classic. I mentioned kanina that, my first experience was overdriving stereo speakers with a really big tube amp. Okay, the typical thing, people ask, what do you prefer, solid state or tube, whatever. Personally, I would prefer something that's... first, you start with the amp. I prefer a hybrid design. I don't like all tube amps. Why? Dahil konti lang sa Pilipinas ang marunong mag-ayos ng detubo na amp. Yun nga pala, one of the things that's one of the things that people ask me, what do I prefer? And my way of thinking lang is nasa Pilipinas tayo. Given that konti yung marunong mag-maintain talaga ng tube amps, you have to be practical with your choices. If you get a digital modeling amp, for example, it's easier to maintain. Mas madaling, there's less moving parts inside. The question, of course, is do you sacrifice tone just to be practical? And again, ang pinaka-importante sa akin is to be practical. The tone, ideally, I would love to have a huge, a nice Mesa Boogie amp. I would love to. Pero wala akong pera para dun eh. At pag nasira yun, mag-aalala talaga ako. So you get the next best thing to get that warm tube sound. And maybe you can get one of these things, yung Seymour Duncan Twin Tube. May dalawang pindutan, on bypass and channel select, which means na what this thing offers you is a rhythm channel and the lead channel. Why do you need two when most pedals have only one? If you play in a band, you know na maganda nga yung distortion sound mo. Pag pumasok na yung drummer, wala na yung guitar, yung guitar solo mo. It's gone. No matter how big and fat your rhythm sound is, your lead tone will always suffer. Let's say maganda yung timpla mo, maganda yung gamit mo. It has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with the fact that you're with a loud drummer. You're hearing frequencies that probably get in the way of what your guitar sounds like. Malakas yung bahista, which means baka mamaya there are frequencies that the bass player is hitting that's conflicting with your tone, or baka may face cancellation problems, or it could be the room. So there's a lot of factors involved. So, and yeah, one thing to keep in mind when I show you these pedals is you're hearing the way the pedal reacts with this amp in this room. So, again, there might be a sound that you like. Then you get the pedal, and then you play with your band, and it sounds like shit. Because you're not hearing it with a complete band. So always remember that when you buy a pedal, and you're by yourself, try to think in advance of, okay, if you have an idea of what your drummer sounds like, keep that in mind. Keep in mind what your bass player sounds like, what frequencies he or she prefers. Because at least when you get the pedal, you can compensate na. You know when and where to compensate. So, Twin Tube Classic. Clean. It sounds a little bass heavy, so there's a bass roll-off knob there. If you want more highs, then you move that thing. When you try to shop for a distortion pedal, always make sure that usually there's the level knob. Most manufacturers, pag nakalagay sa 12 o'clock yun, it's usually at unity gain, which means the signal that you get with the pedal off is the same volume as with the pedal on. But since it's a distortion pedal, it's a little louder than with the effect off. So here's the rhythm channel. Here's the lead channel, in which I put more gain. One of the things that I learned is when you're looking for a distortion pedal, what's ideal is if you turn down the guitar's volume knob, lilinis siya. And that's something that you always should watch out for, because it means na kahit paano the manufacturer made the circuit to be responsive. Because if you get a pedal that when you turn down the volume, medyo yung distortion, nababawasan na yung volume, but the distortion remains the same, chances are it won't be a very dynamic distortion pedal to use live. It means na, basically, for me, it means that the pedal is doing the work for you.